If you followed this channel for a few years, you'll know that I've taken a look at Thea the Awakening and Thea 2 the Shattering. To quickly summarize, these two games are interesting twists to the 4X genre by focusing more on exploration rather than expansion. Thea 1 and 2 are games that I've both enjoyed, with the original being a personal favorite of mine. Even though the sequel felt a bit underwhelming in certain sections, I was very curious on how the third entry would shape up. While it has not been released yet, we do have a demo for the next entry in Thea with Project Thea. Unlike the past games taking place in a Slavic fantasy world, Project Thea is a post-apocalyptic future with sci-fi and fantasy elements thrown in. It's honestly not the direction I was expected, but I was rather intrigued regardless. I was given an early access code from the developer Muha Games to take a look at. While I do appreciate the free code, it will not deter me from a fair and honest review. Sounds good? Let's begin. So when you start the game, you can choose your race and your character. All these races and professions here are based off of some of the fantasy professions in the prior games. At this time, there are only 3 professions to choose from and 2 factions to choose from. The character you can choose will determine your starting party. A ton more will be available at the full release. Since the demo is rather light on content, this review will focus on several playthroughs, playing through the magic domain and the technology domain. After finalizing your character and making your choice, you wake up to an AI telling you what is going on in the world. Similar to prior Thea games, you can follow the tutorial or skip the tutorial entirely. For my first playthrough, I went with the tutorial, which teaches you about how challenges are handled in this game, as well as other aspects. Challenges are pretty simple here. You have a % chance of completing a task due to your skills and the situations. To increase your chances, you can assign up to 3 characters to participate in the challenge, as well as add supplies. Each character assigned takes up energy, which is a resource shared by the group and replenished after each turn. Successfully completing challenges nets various results, mainly in the form of resources and items. It's overall a pretty fun and simple mechanic. Similar to the prior Thea titles, you will be exploring the map in a hexagonal grid. When you encounter various points of interest, you are able to interact with them. This brings you to an adventure book style format where you can pick and choose the next action. Some will resolve itself with the choice you pick, while others will lead to challenges and even battle. The big difference here is that points of interest do not instantly go away, as they need to be entered multiple times before they are fully completed. Once they are completed, they are gone from the map. It definitely adds more depth to each of the points of interest and changes the way you will approach them going forward. And I did mention combat, so let's talk about it. Combat in Thea has always been a weaker element in the series for me. Thea 1 was simple but fun enough. Thea 2 went the overcomplicated route, making it unenjoyable for me personally. Unfortunately, Project Thea opts for the grid style format of Thea 2. You'll place your characters down once they appear in your deck, as well as other cards. Once your turn ends, your units then attack the other team automatically. Unlike before, how you needed to take out every unit, you'll only need to take out the main leader. However, you basically have no control on what character you will target. It's almost as if they wanted to simplify the cumbersome combat by removing control from the player. I'm hoping to see Muha Games eventually address this before the full release. Just like the prior Thea games, you'll need to end your turn to recover movement points. When ending your turn, you'll set up camp and can determine what you'll be doing during it. This is dependent on the skills of the party. Actions you can take include additional healing of hit points and wounds, as well as giving temporary buffs to last for the next day. You can even select the food you'll eat and any items to cook or craft. Ending your turn will take up supplies. The amount of supplies is determined by your party size, as well as any additional actions you choose. Overall, I like this system, as you'll need to manage your supplies along with your team's needs. And while it may seem at first that it's just going to focus on pure exploration even more so than the prior games, there's actually a town that you can manage called the Project. It's quite a ways away, so rushing towards it isn't really advised. Once here, you can store the energy shards that you may have collected along the way and manage your colony. Managing your colony involves building new facilities to help create new supplies per season, increase population, and increase the amount of new recruits available to you. There appears to be plans to expand the colony management feature, so I am definitely looking forward to that. If there is one complaint I have so far outside of the combat, it is the difficulty. Most of my runs were ended due to poor auto-resolve odds against a group of enemies. It's honestly pretty hard to tell what you'll be up against. While you can avoid combat a majority of the time, combat becomes nearly unavoidable once the night months hit. Once that happens, every enemy, and I do mean every enemy, makes a beeline to your settlement. Your garrison will try their best to protect the town, but mainly you'll need to intervene to stop them. While you do level up as expected with experience, there's only one attribute you can increase per leveling up, meaning you'll most likely have a party not well equipped for battle. Healing also takes several turns, which you don't really have due to all the enemies coming at you. It's a bit frustrating, and I hope they can ease off a bit for the night months. Overall though, I am curious to see how the finished product will be. Despite the limited amount of content in this demo, I enjoyed what was on offer. It retains many of the Thea foundations while adding some new ideas. The change from a fantasy world to a post-apocalyptic one is definitely unexpected, but it still retains the series' charm and gameplay. I'm just hoping for a rework in the combat system and the night to not be so punishing. Either way, definitely keep your eye on this one going forward. Thank you all for watching as always, and this is Powerhouse, signing off.